Welcome my dear all students. In this class we will be discuss about linear momentum, forces and types of forces, Newton's first law of motion and examples, couple, how to define couple and examples, and torques and the important applications of torque in our day-to-day life. Then we know the momentum is denoted by the letter P. Okay. Then you have to note down the notation of the relevant physical quantity. P is equal to m into v. That is, the product of mass and velocity will give you the momentum. Then what is the unit of mass? It is kilogram, and unit of velocity is meter per second. So if you combine these two, then you will get kilogram meter second power minus 1. In CGS system, replace gram for kilogram and centimeter for meter. What will you get? Gram centimeter second power minus 1. I'll repeat once again what is linear momentum. Linear momentum is defined as the product of the mass and velocity of the moving body. P is equal to mv. What is Newton's first law? Newton's first law states that every body continues to be in its state of rest or of uniform motion unless it is acted upon by some external forces. If you throw a ball, is it come to rest immediately? The ball rolling down to some extent and then stops. Why the ball stopping? Because of the frictional force acting between the ball and the surface of the floor. Then the ball comes to rest. If you know the celestial bodies, if you want to position a satellite in the Earth's orbit, nowadays what we are doing, we just make the satellite to reach the orbit, and then this satellite will continue to be in its state of motion. This is not at all acted upon by some external forces. This is in the space. But what happened to the ball in the floor? Because the frictional force, it comes to rest. So we can take the frictional force as some external force. Okay. Then what is force? Force is doing something on the body. Force is something which may produce some changes in the body. It may produce or tries to produce the motion of a static body. If a body in the stationary state, then if you apply the force, then the body tends to move. Or initially, if the body is at rest, if you apply the force, then the body will be moving. Then or the force may change the direction of the moving body. If the body moves in the straight line, then if you apply a force, it may deviate from the straight line motion. Okay. Then these three changes may occur due to the impact of the force. What are the types of the forces? We define the types of the forces as two. One is like parallel force, the other one is the unlike parallel forces. Two or more forces of equal or unequal magnitude acting along the same direction. Know the point? The force should act along the same direction. This point is very important. The forces should be acting along the same direction and parallel to each other are called like parallel forces. The magnitude should be the same, or unequal magnitude but acting in the same direction can be called as parallel forces. What are unlike forces? The magnitude may be changing and the direction also may be changing. If two or more equal forces, or you can call it as unequal forces, act along opposite direction parallel to each other, then they are called unlike parallel forces. Okay. Then what is a resultant force? Then you have to consider the directions and the magnitude. Depends on the direction and magnitude. You have to add all those forces. The sum of the forces will give you the resultant force. Here you have to use positive and negative signs to denote the magnitude of the force. Parallel forces are acting in the same direction. Note down the two forces F1 and F2. These two forces having the same magnitude and acting in the same direction. So you have to add these two forces. F net force is equal to F1 plus F2. Parallel unequal forces. See, these two forces are parallel unequal forces. They are acting in the opposite directions. Suppose if this is 5 Newton and this is 5 Newton, but these two are acting in the opposite direction. So, what is the net force? F net force is equal to F1 minus F2. Suppose the magnitude of F1 is greater, use F1 in the first place. F2 is greater, use F2 in the first place. Okay. For example, F1 is 5 Newton and F2 is 3 Newton. Which one is greater? 5 Newton is greater. So 5 minus 3. Okay. 2 Newton. Suppose F1 is 2 Newton and F2 is 5 Newton. Which one is greater? 5 Newton is greater. So use 5 Newton here for F2. 5 Newton minus 3 Newton, that is 2 Newton. Okay, depends on the magnitude. You have to use this equation as F1 minus F2 or F2 minus F1. Then parallel equal forces are acting in opposite direction in the same line of action. F is equal to F2. Then these two forces are same. This is 5 Newton and this is 5 Newton. What is the resultant? 5 minus 5. It is 0 now. That is given here. Parallel equal forces are acting in opposite directions in the same line of action. Okay. For this case, you have to write F is equal to 0. See, unlike parallel forces and unbalanced forces action of a lever, you can easily lift an object using this unbalanced force. Like parallel forces, he is pulling this weight in the same direction and he is also pulling in the same direction, then it is very easy to shift this weight like parallel forces. Adding. Okay, then these are all the important examples explaining you about like parallel forces, unlike forces and unbalanced forces. If the resultant force of all the forces acting on a body is equal to 0, then the body will be in equilibrium. So you can call this as balanced force. And what is unbalanced force? If you got some resultant force, then it is called unbalanced force. Okay, depends on the direction and magnitude. We can categorize unbalanced force. Then for example, if you want to draw water from a well, then you have to give some unbalanced force, is it not? Force applied with a crowbar, forces on a weight balance. These are all some examples. A system can be brought to equilibrium by applying another force. If you want to make the system to be in equilibrium state, you have to apply some another force. Okay, then which is equal to the resultant force in magnitude but in opposite direction. Such force is called as equilibrant. You want to make an object to be at stable state. If it is moving, then if you want to supply minus 5 newtons to make it to stop, then that force minus 5 newton can be called as equilibrant. Have you ever think about why handles of door placed at one end of the corner? Here it is your answer. Have you ever tried to push the door nearby the hinges? Here it is the hinges. You may feel it is so difficult, is it not? You can easily push or pull the door only when you apply the force far away from the fixed edge. This is the fixed edge, and only when you apply the force at the next corner, then it is easy for you to push the door or pull. You can make this process very easy only when the application of the force is far away from the fixed point. Or the distance should be maximum. If you place the handle here or here, it is very difficult to push or pull the door. So it is placed here. And this fixed axis is called axis of rotation. You can see that this fixed axis is called as axis of rotation. You can easily push or pull the door only when you apply the force far away from the fixed point. Note the distance from the fixed point. It is consisting of maximum distance. But if you place the handle here or here, then it will be very difficult for you to push or pull the door. When you apply the force, it should turn the door. This is the fixed axis. You can make this process very easy only when the application of the force is far away from the fixed point, or the distance should be maximum. Fix another end. This is axis of rotation and hinges Then when you make this process easy, you have to push or pull the door only nearby to the other corner, and this is called as the axis of rotation. Fix one end of the rod to the floor or wall and apply a tangential force or perpendicular force on the other end. What will happen? The rod will rotate about the fixed point, and you can call this point as the point of rotation. We know what is fixed point and fixed axis, is it not? Then the rotating or turning effect of the force about a fixed point or fixed axis is called moment of the force. If you apply the force, if that force produces the turning effect about a fixed point, then you can call that force as moment of the force about that particular point, or the torque. Torque is defined as the product of the force and the distance. Perpendicular distance between the two fixed points. You have to find out the perpendicular distance between the two fixed points. You know, torque is a vector quantity. It depends on the direction and also magnitude. It is acting along the direction perpendicular to the plane containing the line of action of the force. If you apply the force at that particular direction, then if you extend the line, it will give you the line of the force. Then this torque acting perpendicular to the line of action of the force. With this example, it will be very clear for you what is line of action. Note down, these two members are pushing this table. This is the table, and with the equal and parallel forces. He is applying the force at this position. He is also applying the force at this point. Then if you extend the line of action, that is the force acting on the point, then it will meet each other like this. This is the line of action. Both are one and the same, and there won't be any change in the position of the table. Suppose if the persons are moving here and there, then the line of action may be varied. This first person will give 5 Newton and the second person also applying 5 Newton. Then what will happen? Because the position is same, the line of action or the line of force acting and the particular direction is same, so there won't be any movement in this table. But suppose if key is moving here and key is moving at the other corner, what will happen? The line of action of the force won't be the same, and hence the table starts rotating. See here, he moved here and also he moved here. What about the line of action of the force? For this person, the line of action of the force acting at this particular point. See, previously, we have seen the line of action of the force occurred at this point, but for this person, the line of action acting in this line, but for the second person, the line of action acting at this point. So these two will produce the turning effect of the table. So the table start rotating, and this is called as couple, and couple produces torque. I think it is now clear for you. What is moment of a couple? We know couple. Now let us define what is moment of a couple. Moment of a couple is measured by the product of the force and the perpendicular distance between the two forces. That is the line of action of the two forces. You have to measure the perpendicular distance from the line of action between the two forces. Then you will get the moment of couple. M is equal to force into perpendicular distance. What is the unit of moment of couple? It is Newton meter. In SI system, you can measure it by Newton meter, and in CGS system, it is Dyne centimeter. These are all important applications of torque. A gear is a circular wheel. Here you can see the gear. It is a circular wheel. You can reduce the speed by applying the torque. It is a circular wheel with teeth around the rim. This is used to change the speed of rotation of the wheel by just changing the torque. If you change the torque, then the speed can be reduced, and this helps to transmit the power. This is one of the important application of torque. Look at these two persons. there is a difference in weight of these persons sitting on it, is it not? The heavier person lifts the lighter person. When the heavier person comes closer to the pivot point, that is, you can also call it as fulcrum. When the heavier person comes closer to the pivot point, that is fulcrum, then the distance of the line of the action of these two forces decreases. So this will cause a less amount of the torque to act on it. This enables the lighter person to lift the heavier person. This is an important example now. Then seesaw. What is the next one? That is steering wheels gives you the important example of the application of the torque. When you change the steering wheel, then the force will be transferred to the wheels and the direction will be changed with less effort. Okay, with the help of this steering wheels, you can easily change the direction of the wheels. It is very easy. By simply giving less force, you can change the direction of the wheels. So this is the important example of torque. I hope you understand all the points very well, my dear all students. Comment your valuable comments in the comment box. Thank you for listening, students. And also you can ask doubts. I will meet you with the next good topic. Until then, bye from Sangeeta Gopichetipalayam.